Just sit for a moment. You don't have to do anything. Just sit and notice right now, in this very moment, there's something inside you that is already watching, already aware, already present. You didn't create it. You didn't turn it on. It was always there. Let me ask you something simple. When you feel angry, who knows that you are angry? Think about it slowly. There's anger. Yes. But there's also something that sees the anger. Something that knows this is anger. That something, that is you. The real you. Not the anger. Not the thought. Not the story your mind is telling you right now. The one who watches, that is you. This is the beginning of awareness. Not a technique. Not a practice. Just noticing that there is a watcher inside you that has always been there, quietly watching everything. Your thoughts come and go. Your emotions rise and fall. Your moods change like weather. But the watcher stays. Have you ever sat alone at night and just watched your own mind? Just sat quietly and looked at what was happening inside? Sometimes a thought comes, I am not good enough. And then another thought, why do I always think like this? And then another, I have so much work tomorrow. And they just keep coming, one after another, like a river that never stops. Most of us, we don't watch these thoughts. We become them. The thought says, I am worthless. And we believe it completely. We become that thought. We carry it. We feel heavy. But what if, just for a moment, you didn't become the thought? What if you just watched it? Like you watch clouds in the sky. A cloud comes. You see it. It moves. It changes shape. It disappears. You don't hold the cloud. You don't say no, don't go. You don't try to change the cloud. You just watch. Your thoughts are exactly like that. Let me tell you what happens when we are not aware. You wake up in the morning. Before you even open your eyes fully, a thought comes. Today is going to be difficult. You didn't choose that thought. It just came. But now you believe it. Now your whole morning is colored by it. You drink your tea, but you're not really there. You are somewhere in your head, already fighting the day that hasn't even started. This is how most of us live. Not in the present moment, but in the stories our mind tells us about the future or the past. The mind is always busy. It is always somewhere else. Either remembering something from yesterday with pain, or worrying about something tomorrow with fear. Right now, this moment is usually the one place the mind avoids. And awareness is simply coming back to this moment. Let me give you an example. Someone says something harsh to you, a rude word, a criticism. Immediately, something happens inside you. A tightening in the chest, a heat in the face. The mind starts preparing a response, a defense, maybe an attack. All of this happens in seconds. Without awareness, you react. You say something back. Or you carry the hurt silently for the rest of the day. Or you go home and feel angry at everyone around you. And they don't even know why. This is unconscious living. Not because you are bad. Just because nobody taught us to watch. With awareness, just a small, gentle awareness, something different becomes possible. You feel the tightening. You notice the heat. You see the thought forming, I want to say something sharp back. And you just watch it. You don't suppress it. You don't push it down. You don't pretend you're not hurt. You simply see it, clearly, quietly. And something interesting happens. When you watch an emotion, really watch it, it begins to soften. Not disappear. Not instantly, but soften. Because most of the power of an emotion comes from the fact that we are inside it, not watching it. Now I want to talk about something that sounds simple but is actually quite rare. Just sitting with yourself. Not doing anything. Not fixing anything. Not trying to think positive or think less. Just sitting. Most people are deeply uncomfortable with silence. Try this. Sit alone in a room. No phone. No music. No distraction. Just sit. Within a few minutes, the mind becomes restless. It wants to do something. It wants to scroll, to eat, to call someone, to plan something. The mind does not like emptiness. But here is a question worth asking. Why? Why are we so afraid of silence? Maybe because in silence, we meet ourselves. And we are not sure we like what we find. The thoughts we have been avoiding. The feelings we have been running from. The loneliness we have been covering with noise. Awareness does not ask you to run from these things. It asks you to sit with them. Not to solve them. Not to analyze them endlessly. Just to sit with them the way you sit with an old friend. With patience. With gentleness. Without judgment. Let me talk about judgment for a moment because this is important. When we say watching thoughts without judging, what does that mean? Most of us, when we watch our own thoughts, we immediately start judging them. This is a bad thought. I should not be thinking this. What is wrong with me? And now there is a thought, and a judgment about the thought, and a feeling about the judgment. Layer upon layer. This is not awareness. This is just more thinking. Real awareness has no judgment in it. You see a thought, I am feeling jealous. And you just see it, without saying it is wrong, without trying to immediately replace it with something better. Just, I am feeling jealous. Okay, I am watching this. That's it. No drama. No self-punishment. No urgency to fix it. Just honest, quiet seeing. Here is something that may feel a little strange at first. The part of you that judges your thoughts, the part that says this thought is bad, that thought is good, that is the ego. The ego is not a bad thing. It is just the mind's sense of self. The I that we have built over many years of experience, comparison, approval, and rejection. The ego wants to be in control. It wants to manage how you feel. It wants to present a certain image to yourself and to others. And so when a thought comes that doesn't fit the image, I am a good person who doesn't feel jealous, the ego panics. It wants to suppress that thought, deny it, or explain it away. Awareness is different from the ego. Awareness doesn't have an image to protect. It just watches, openly, without needing the thoughts to be a certain way. When you begin to watch your thoughts with this kind of openness, without needing them to be different, something very quiet happens inside you. A kind of relaxation. Not because the thoughts become better, but because you are no longer fighting them. Think of it this way. Imagine a river. The river flows. Sometimes it is calm, sometimes it is turbulent. The ego stands at the edge of the river, trying to control the water. Flow this way. Don't flow that way. Stop making waves. Be cleaner. This is exhausting, and it doesn't work. Awareness is more like the sky above the river. The sky doesn't control the river. It doesn't comment on it. It just holds space for whatever the river is doing. Raining, flooding, drying, roaring, whispering. The sky doesn't mind. You are the sky, not the river. You are the awareness in which all these thoughts and emotions are happening. This is not a metaphor to memorize. It is something to feel, to slowly, gently experience in your own quiet moments. Now let me bring this down to something very ordinary. Because awareness is not only for meditation cushions or peaceful moments. It is most needed in ordinary moments, in difficult moments. When you are stuck in traffic and you feel that familiar irritation rising, that is a moment for awareness. Not to suppress the irritation. Not to tell yourself, I should be calm. Just to notice, there is irritation here. I can feel it in my chest. My hands are tightening on the wheel. Just that. Just seeing. When you are lying in bed at night and anxiety comes, that tight, unnamed feeling that something is wrong, instead of fighting it or spiraling deeper into it, just turn toward it gently. There is anxiety here. I am watching it. It is here. That's okay. When loneliness comes, and it comes for everyone, no matter how surrounded by people you are, instead of immediately reaching for your phone or the television, just sit with it for a moment. There is loneliness here. I'm not going to run from it. I'm going to look at it. This is not dramatic. It is not heroic. It is simply honest. And slowly, over time, this honesty changes something. You begin to see that you are not your anxiety. You are the one watching the anxiety. You are not your loneliness. You are the one sitting with the loneliness. You are not your anger. You are the one observing the anger. This is a very simple shift, but it changes everything. Most people think silence means nothing is happening, but the deepest silence is very full. When the mind becomes quiet, even for a few seconds, there is something underneath. Something alive and still at the same time. Something that has no name. You have felt it. Maybe for a brief moment while watching a sunset. Or after a good cry when everything releases and there is just stillness. Or in that space just before sleep when the day falls away. That quiet space, that is what awareness points toward. Not a state to achieve. Not something to manufacture. Just something to notice when it appears on its own. Meditation is not about forcing silence. It is about creating enough space that silence can come on its own. You sit. You watch your breath. Thoughts come. You watch them. Thoughts go. You watch the going. More thoughts come. You don't try to stop them. You don't get frustrated when they come. You don't feel like you are failing. You just watch. And in the watching itself, something settles. Not because you did something right. Just because you stopped fighting. There is no complicated technique here. Just this. Sit quietly whenever you can. Even for 5 minutes. Close your eyes if it helps. Or keep them open. It doesn't matter. And simply watch whatever is happening inside. Thoughts, watch them. Feelings, watch them. Boredom, watch it. Restlessness, watch it. Even the thought, I'm doing this wrong, watch that too. Nothing needs to be different. Nothing needs to be fixed. You are not trying to become calm. You are not trying to empty the mind. You are not trying to achieve anything at all. You are simply practicing being the witness. And slowly, not in one day, not in 1 week, but slowly, something shifts. You start to notice the watcher in ordinary life too. Not just in sitting practice. You notice, in the middle of an argument, a small quiet space where you see yourself arguing. And you see the other person. And you see that something larger than both of you is holding all of it. That space, that is awareness. That is presence. I want to end with something simple. You are not broken. Your mind is busy. Yes. Your emotions are messy. Yes. You overthink. You worry. You get angry. You feel afraid. All of this is human. All of this is okay. But underneath all of it, underneath every thought and every feeling and every story, there's something in you that is completely untouched, quiet, whole, already at peace. Not because life is perfect, not because you have figured everything out, just because awareness itself is always peaceful. It has never been disturbed. It cannot be disturbed. It is the nature of watching to be still. You don't have to become aware. You already are. You just have to remember. Come back to the breath. Come back to this moment. Come back to the watcher. That is home. And it is always here. Sit quietly for a moment before you close this. Just breathe. And notice who is breathing, who is noticing. That is enough.